4 3-minute rounds then, Dan Morley. 3 fights, 3 victories, still looking for his first stoppage, and he's going to have to work hard for it this evening against Danny Little. Vastly experienced from North Yorkshire. Actually picked up a victory against the odds last time he was here in February 2018. But Morley looking to dominate the centre of the ring early on. One thing to be said for Danny Little, he is game when he arrives. He's in the black trunks and the blue gloves. Morley, black shorts, black gloves. He's got a great crowd who've come north of the river to watch him here in East London. Does most of his training, of course, in Clapham. And Little just getting his wrestling going early on. Trying to show Dan Morley that he's the experienced man. He's going to make him work for it. Got that high guard, making it hard for Morley early on. But nice left to the body there from Morley. Of course, when you're fighting men who are on the road all the time, they do cover up. They do make it difficult to stop. He'd love to get a stoppage here this evening as we approach the halfway point of round 1. Again, nice work with the left there from Morley. Trying to get inside that guard of Little. Little throws a right to the body himself before staying within range. Actually a little bit too close for Morley to do any good work. 4 3-minute rounds though. Plenty of time. Oh, and lovely stuff there from Morley. Sends Little back to the ropes and gets through with the uppercut as well. Oh, he's just finding his range now, Dan Morley. Now just steps out, fills those lungs full of air, and then gets back to work. Little with a big looping overhand right. Oh, snappy left there from Morley on the counter. Then the 1-2. This is a great first 2 minutes from Dan Morley. His hometown crowd responding as well. It's brought a great big group here to York Hall. And again, that short right uppercut. Bouncing off the gloves of Little, but he's showing his full range of punches here. All coming in behind that good jab. Lead right this time. Coming towards the final few seconds of the round, and Morley finishing strong. Little trying to walk him down, but Morley forcing him backwards with good work. Again, touch gloves at the end of the round, but another short left. And Dan Morley certainly the happier of the two after 3 minutes. Good start from Morley. Little staying on his feet in the corner there just to show that it didn't affect him too much. But look at this. Slightly out of range with that right hook and perhaps a little bit too eager following through, but great work to the body. That left hand doing all of the damage in that first round and then getting through. Following it up.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Remember, he's just in his 4th bout. When he does find that range under the lights, could really start to cause some opponents some trouble. But I like the way he confidently steps to the centre of the ring, wants to dominate his opponent. The Epsom man wants to show the judges that he's in charge, and that's exactly what he is. Again, gets in close. Doesn't throw any silly shots, knows when he's not in range to put the brakes on. Working that lead left to the body very nicely as well. Knows that Little wants to protect that head. Oh, and here we go. This is our first look at the combinations. And that's Rock Little. Really sharp work there from Morley. And then just steps back, steps out of range, recharges the batteries, and gets ready to go again. Well, explosive start there in the opening minute of the second round from Dan Morley. And now steps back into the pocket and controls the pace. Good footwork to move out of range of Little shots as well, before slowing him up with that left to the body. Poor Danny Little, that right-hand side of his ribcage has taken some abuse. Halfway through the second round, and now Little tries to wrestle Morley again. Just tries to get some respite from the good work that the undefeated Dan Morley started to build in this second round. Decent jab there from Little. Morley needs to be careful here. He's on top in this bout. Doesn't want to do anything that might be a gift to Little. Vastly experienced, 63 professional bouts as of tonight. And Morley looking to cut loose there. Needs to be careful that he stays balanced. Wild right hook from Little. Again, Morley regains his composure, goes back to work. Composure. That left hook to the body. Probably my favourite punch that he's throwing tonight. Something they'll have worked on in the gym. And will that be one of the shots that characterises his fledgling professional career? End of the second round, another good one for Morley. To my mind, he's had the best of the opening two, but this was the highlight. Explosive inside the first minute of the second round. Danny Little covered up. I'm not entirely sure how much damage they did. It was just relentless from Morley, and that'll certainly have caught the judges' eyes.
Corners.
Caught the eyes of the neutrals here as well. Very, very exciting prospect indeed. 2 rounds down, 2 to come. Mark Bates calls them in at the start of round 3. It starts exactly the same as 1 and 2, with Morley striding to the centre of the ring. Timing that left really well. It seems as though the worst thing Little can do is throw a shot, because Morley's really keen on the counterpunch. Again, gets through with a jab. And the 1-2, those high hands of Little are taking an absolute battering, but they're protecting him, and he needs it, because Dan Morley's well on top here. Confident he stands just out of range as well. Little's not really offered much by way of attack. But this is a good test for Dan Morley, knowing he's going to have to break the man down. Still looking for that first stoppage. It might not come this evening. But if anything, that's even more important at this stage of the career for Dan Morley, because it means he needs to stay disciplined. And that's exactly what he's doing. Apart from a little stage in the second round where he threw a few shots and got off balance, he's been well on top here, and this is great work. Heavy-handed. And huge credit to Little as well. He's defending well. Not much is getting through. There's some murmurings of respect here from the York Hall crowd as well. They like what they're seeing from Dan Morley. He's brought a good crowd with him. But plenty of spectators who've come to see other fighters impressed with his work too. Oh, 2 lefts and a right. Again, just when it comes to the key moments, slightly off balance when he threw that right hook, and it allowed Danny Little to step out of range. But again, glimpses of the quality that's coming through here from Dan Morley. Final minute of the third. Again, Morley first to the punch. Just snaps inside those Little shots. Sharp from Morley. Tries to wrestle that left arm free as well. Doesn't want to get wrapped up in the clinch. Let's do this clean work. Short right hook. Trying to put more power in the shots now in the third. Maybe he does sense that Little's tired, and that he can get something more than a points victory. Final few seconds of the round. Finally, some work from Little. Backs Morley up onto the ropes, but Morley wrestles him off. Lands a right on the bell. Another good round from the Londoner. Again, heavy shots. See with that left and the right, just out of range and just forcing the punch. Something that he wasn't doing in the first round. Shows an eagerness which is good. Left hook looks a great shot for Dan Morley.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, fourth and final round.
Final round. And Mark Bates orders a touch of gloves. Danny Little is going to need a stoppage here, because Dan Morley has dominated the 9 minutes thus far. And he started the final round like he's going to dominate this one as well. Little flurry there on another great body shot. Backs Little up. Smart work from Little as well. Just locks up that left arm. Stops Dan Morley just as he was starting to get even more on top than he has been. Goes with that lead left hook again. Little calls him on, but I'm not sure how smart that is from Danny Little. Morley just marching him round the ring, putting him exactly where he wants him, walking him down, closing the ring off. He's almost given up on the jab now. Morley knows he can get through with the hook instead. Switches to the right hook for that body shot. Oh, and then back to the left. Danny Little's going to need some aspirin tomorrow. Dan Morley has pulverised him for 3.5 rounds, and he's going to continue to until the final bell. Little's kept those gloves high though, and he's needed to. Otherwise he might have found himself on the canvas. Steps out, steps back, and that's a really sharp jab from Morley. Oh, and the right's got through as well. He's not had much opportunity to do so, but looks like a real counterpuncher, Dan Morley, when given the opportunity to. And Little just swinging to try and keep Dan Morley at bay here. More experience, perhaps physically stronger, just backs him into the corner just to get some air in the lungs. Morley goes straight back to work. But Danny Little just suffocating the bout. He's going to hear the final bell here. And I'll be very surprised if it's a blue-gloved arm that gets raised. Again, Morley finishing strong, wants to do this good work, walking Danny Little down. Stayed out of range very well. He does wear one there, though. A short right from Little, just getting through. Morley needs to be careful here, doesn't want to get caught with anything late. And he's kept Danny Little guessing all evening here for playbook rounds here from Dan Morley. And I don't think he's going to get the stoppage. That's something we'll look forward to, because I've no doubt he'll be back in this York Hall ring very soon. But that is 4 excellent rounds for Dan Morley. And we'll go to the decision, but this one's only going one way. Well, we wait for the decision here. Just a few highlights of the fourth round. Look at that, the Morley counter over the top. I think as he goes through the gears and fights men a bit closer to his level, we'll certainly see that stoppage. And it's a very worthy undercard bout as we count down to the Commonwealth bout. Philip Bowes against Benson Niliwala. But let's have the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, a referee Bates scores the contest 40 points to 36 points to your winner and still unbeaten, Daniel Morley.
Well, the York Hall crowd like it, so does Dan Morley. He's waiting for that